Hey, Brian from Garage Mahal. Today I have this backdrop stand, and if you can hear, I have a diesel heater that I heat this section of the studio, the garage, up with. And when I make videos, it kind of interferes with the sound, because then you hear the heater in the background. Anyway, so this is going to be a T-stand for a backdrop. And I have a sound blanket and a dampening blanket over here. So let's get this stand put together. Use it for regular backdrops is great. I'm gonna use it as kind of like a sound barrier. So I'll show you how that works with this as well. So it comes with this handy carrying case, which is great. So you can make it super mobile. And it comes with a bunch of clips that you can clip stuff onto the backdrop, so that makes things a lot easier. And then these are all the pieces that go with it. This is the base. So lots of little extra plastic. It has a toolkit that comes with it that you can use. And this is a pretty neat. This is kind of like a ballast bag. So it has a zipper on it. I'll give you a closer look on this in a second. But it has a zipper on both sides, so you can put like, I don't know, like stones in here, sands, like whatever you have that's kind of like heavy. So you can put that over the top like that. And once we get the base out, so that's how quick the base sets up for you. So you can set it pretty wide. So the lower you go with this, the pretty much like the wider that will get. Lower your center of gravity, and then I think I'm going to use it like that. And then, like I said, you fill that with some sort of extra weight. You can go there. You can even get like some smaller 2.5, 5 pound plates will fit in here pretty good to help weigh that down. And then you have your backdrop stand directions. So let me bring that stuff closer to you. So those are your directions. In case yours doesn't come with it, I'll give you more of a close-up on each section. So kind of like rolling credits here, so you can see everything. And then this is your ballast bag. It's very cool. And then this is where you have your zipper compartment. So very cool. So you can put whatever in there to help work that. So let's get all the pieces spread out here. And they're nice and numbered evenly. So that looks like your 6, 7. Now we'll keep these from rolling. Use the clips for that. Here's another 7. 8. And an 8. Okay, so on the directions, we have an 8, which will connect with a 7. So really easy to put together. Okay, and then that attaches to the 6 is going to be your center point. And then real easy, the 6 has that hole in the middle. So when we get to the top, that's what that will be for. And then on this side, a 7. And then your 8 on the end. So that's gonna be your center point. And mine's gonna be a little bit different because you can set the backdrop up with these, basically like these pull clamps. That works great, but on mine, it's basically gonna slide like kind of like a shower curtain. I'll show you when we get to that point. Okay, let's get this next section out. That's 4, that's a 2, that's a 3, that's another 4, and then that is your number 1, which just looking at it, is going to be your top. So one is your top. All right, so it's going to be your 1 connected to your 2. Then you have 3 in the middle. Oh, so 3, that's going to give you your telescoping. So I'm going to tighten this down here a little bit, just so we get the set. And then you're going to have 4 and 4. I love how it like easily screws together. Makes things so much easier. So that's going to be your 4. That kind of goes up like that. So kind of give you an idea. So I'll put this on the floor once I get that situated. But I think we're going to put the ballast bag over that. So in case we're going to use that. Let's get that screwed down pretty good. Okay, and then that goes down on the floor so you can see exactly how high that is. That's pretty high. And then, so you can go down to about that height. And you can always take a section of this out if you needed to, which in my case, I think I'm gonna do, because I don't think I need all of this height. So again, the versatility of this is pretty awesome. Okay, so then we can do this. So even without that extra piece, I can still go pretty high, and I don't need much more height than that. Your application may differ, but I figured I'd just show you that. And then this is going to be your clamp that will hold the top together for you. And I'm going to show you so this is my sound dampening blanket. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically thread this through, and then I'll show you, like for my application, how it's going to work, as well as a backdrop, I meant to say. So just trying to get all these lined up pretty good here. Okay, so we'll slide this across, and I'll try to center this as best as I can. I think that's probably going to be about 3 on that side, 2 on that side. So something like that. So, and then this will basically kind of sit on top here. And now I'm kind of like out of view, kind of like magic. So we're going to put that clamp there. And then it comes with a screw, a bolt rather. And then I can sandwich this on top. And then let's get this bolt started here. So that goes in the hole there. That lines up with that. And then there is a threaded part in there. Again, sound dampening blanket not included, but just for example, and then I can tighten that down nice and good. And again, that is how it's going to stand. And the stand is pretty good. I mean, this is a pretty heavy blanket to kind of give you an idea. And I'm going to raise this up so it's off the ground. So that gives you kind of an idea of for my application, what I'm going to be using it for. And again, it makes a great backdrop, so depending on your camera height, that is what you're going to be looking for. And then I can easily add this extra extension to get it higher. So let's do that now. So easily disconnect that piece. Okay, and then put this back on. And again, for my purposes now, I have a great backdrop. So if I were to zoom in, it would be easy to use. And this sound dampening blanket is a little bit short, but you can use something a lot wider so you have a good presentation background, which I can use it for sound dampening and or a background. But anyway, Brian from Garage Hall, thanks for watching and be safe out there.